等主場嘅球迷，可以俾最熱烈嘅掌聲。
Twice the beat advantage as we see here, the player matchup.
Michael Holyfield going up against Daryl Watkins. Against Sam Diguara, no longer in the roster for Hong Kong Eastern in these competitions. So it will be up to Holyfield to hold the shore. We know that there are a couple of big men, good ones coming from the Knights in Maxi Esho and Watkins. So a big man, a local, will have to step up coming from Hong Kong Eastern.
Well, I think the biggest thing here that's happening in today's game is that O'Darian Bassett is back and Sam Diguara will not be able to play. And with that, I think that just changes the game plan so much for the BTN CLS Knights. So it will be interesting to see what adjustments they will have in just a few hours. And they actually just were able to find out about Diguara not playing just early this morning. So it will definitely be a game of adjustments.
Let's now send it over to our Coliseum announcer to meet our lineup.
BTN CLS Knights, Indonesia. Number 9, Sandy Kurniawan. Number 10, Ferry Otomo. Number 16, Ferdinand Nagoro. Number 17, Hannah Andrew Moscow. Number 22, Abu Bravo. Number 24, Mo Saroni. Number 27, Bima Whiskey Argentina. And the first time, player number 1, Douglas Perry. For number 3, Brandon Gelato. Number 5, Wong Wei Wong. Center number 13, Darren Hopkins. For number 18, Maxi National. BTN CLS Knights Indonesia is led by Rowsom with Porto Harry. Number 16, Adam Su. Number 21, Lam Man Chun. Number 29, Chu Chun Sing. Number 88, Lam Chi Lai. Starting five for Hong Kong Eastern. Forward number 2, Marcus Elliott. Guard number 8, Chen Shui. Forward number 24, Xu Kim Fan. Center number 55, Mike Holyfield. Guard number 15, OMG is Odie Bassett. Hong Kong Eastern, and Lucaris with Fernando Cordo. Now both teams in the center court with a sportsmanship handshake. Officiating this one game on, referee Chen Ying Chen of Taipei. Umpire 1, Chan Lui Lui of Taipei. Umpire 2, Rin Chun Ri of Singapore. With video commissioner Hong Chuk Fai of Hong Kong.
The previous games for the BTN CLS Knights, they escaped with a 91-90 victory against the Saigon Heat. The big difference there, They shot better from the outside against the supposedly stronger team from the three-point range in the Saigon Heat.
Well, you see here the best player, Douglas Herring, and fittingly enough, he did it on both ends of the floor. Aside from his 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists, he even had 3 steals. So a two-way player, a great and vital role player for the CLS Knights.
Meanwhile, Mono Vampire getting the best of Hong Kong Eastern in their last contest because the Thai squad was in desperate need of a win. They were yet to qualify for the playoffs. Marcus Elliott leading the attack for Hong Kong Eastern as usual, getting double-doubles in points and assists, but he did not shoot that well from the field. Will he be able to bounce back in this contest? That is a big question now for Marcus Elliott, but there is less pressure on his shoulders because of the presence of O'Darian Bassett, who is returning to active duty after being in the injured list. Marcus Elliott has been an outstanding talent for Hong Kong Eastern, playing with this team for the past 3 years. He will have to find another gear as we head into the playoffs.
Well, definitely, we all know that the defense is focused on Marcus Elliott, and with O'Darian Bassett going back into the Hong Kong Eastern lineup that spreads out the defense, it brings in one more offensive option, which is clearly needed as we enter the quarterfinals.
The leadership will be on Douglas Herring for the BTN CLS Knights. We know that he is willing, he is capable of making shots in the end game, just like what he did in their last game against the Saigon Heat. When the chips were down, they went to him, and he definitely delivered. Can he deliver another big win for BTN CLS Knights here on the road against Hong Kong Eastern?
Well, with him together with Maxi Esho, they are both the leaders on the floor, and clearly, as I mentioned earlier, he is a two-way player, and because they want him to be, they want the whole team to be a defensive team, he clearly shows it with his game.
Now, the big question now for Hong Kong Eastern is that they will be playing with this unit for the very first time. They've never had this combination of Holyfield, Marcus Elliott, and O'Darian Bassett. As we take a look at the starting unit for the BTN CLS Knights, no changes there. That has been their unit. As long as everyone is healthy, they would go to them game in and game out. On the other side, Holyfield starting out for Hong Kong Eastern alongside Elliott Bassett, Chan Chiu Wing, and John Chiu.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it will be a game of adjustments for the Hong Kong Eastern. It's the first time not to be playing with Sam Deguara. On the other end, for the BTN CLS Knights, they only realized it in this morning that Sam Deguara will not be playing, so that changes their game plan altogether. So it'll be interesting enough to see which team can be able to adjust to their game plans right away and get this win tonight.
For the opponents of Hong Kong Eastern, one of the more important things for them is to involve Sam Deguara in as many high ball screens as you can. Try to take advantage of his slow lateral speed. That will not be the same case in this contest with Holyfield.
Exactly, because Michael Holyfield is very mobile. He's a lot quicker to his feet compared to Sam Deguara. He's a lot faster as well. So that game plan, as I mentioned, will really be scrapped out in this ball game.
How about the size now completely in favor of BTN CLS? If you look at the starters of Hong Kong Eastern, you basically have 4 guards alongside Holyfield. On the other end, you have to deal with Maxi Esho and Daryl Watkins for the Knights.
I think that's the biggest advantage that the BTN CLS Knights will have tonight, especially because that the forward, the big men of the Hong Kong Eastern, they only have Michael Holyfield there to man the paint, so that will definitely be one big advantage that they will capitalize on tonight.
In terms of rebounds per ball game, Hong Kong Eastern on average is much better than the BTN CLS Knights. They are 4th in the league with 41.9 compared to only 37.2, but now that gets turned on its head with the absence of Sam Deguara. And now the size advantage, look at this. Maxi Esho will be matched up against John Chiu. Let's see how this pairing, how this unit will start things off for Hong Kong Eastern, as we're just about ready to get things going. Hong Kong Eastern going up against the BTN CLS Knights, Indonesia. Chan Chiu Wing goes up top. What a start to this ball game.
That was just a great find there for Holyfield, and what a way to start the ball game on a high note for them.
Immediately they want their big man, their lone big man, to get some confidence at the start of this ball game. Good pass down low. Watkins answering back on the other side. And that will be the key here. How will Hong Kong Eastern try to stop the inside points from pouring from the Knights?
Well, I think Holyfield will definitely have his hands full tonight because he has to be able to produce on the offensive end. Being the lone big man on the defensive end, he has Watkins to be able to defend.
He desperately needs to stay away from foul trouble, and Watkins picks up another basket here, a mid-range jumper this time around.
And just showing his inside-outside game there. A big problem for Michael Holyfield.
Chan Chiu Wing goes to the corner to John Siu, kicks it out to Marcus Elliott. Shot clock reach time for Hong Kong Eastern. Bassett blows by his defender, misses, tip it, it's gone for Holyfield.
And you like the aggressiveness of Holyfield.
That's almost unforgivable against BTN CLS because you have the size. You need to make sure that they will not get multiple opportunities at the basket.
And you see there a great block.
4-4 is the score. Hong Kong will try to retake the lead. Another blow-by move. ODB to the bucket.
And Darian Bassett marks his return with a great drive to the basket. And this is what they were missing, that extra offensive option aside from Marcus Elliott.
6 points in the ball game for Daryl Watkins. He owns all the points for the CLS Knights thus far.
But Holyfield has to stand his ground. He's the lone big man here for Hong Kong Eastern. He has to be able to find a way to stop Watkins.
Good pass down low. Another putback coming from Michael Holyfield.
And so far, it's just been Watkins and Holyfield answering back to each other.
Looks like he's ready for the challenge. Michael Holyfield responded with 6 points. Jawato misses from the outside. 8-6 is the count in favor of the home squad, Hong Kong Eastern. Chan Chiu Wing flails for 3. No.
A shot maybe a little too early in their shot clock.
Maxi Esho attacks inside. Good stop there coming from Hong Kong Eastern. Marcus Elliott pushing. Banker no good. Douglas Herring secures the rebound. Maxi Esho, easy layup on the other side. So that's the first night scoring outside of Daryl Watkins as we have an 8-8 deadlock early in this ball game. Again, for BTN CLS Knights, if they win, they claim the number 4 spot along with the home court advantage that goes along with it to start our quarterfinals. Good move coming from Marcus Elliott with a lefty layup.
Well, Marcus Elliott, the former world import here in the ABL. He can score at will and perfectly showing it one-on-one, breaking down his defender.
World Import MVP a couple of seasons ago. Marcus Elliott, also a former champion here in the ASEAN Basketball League. Wong Boylong from the corner, 3-point shot, no good. Chan Chiu Wing running back on the other side, faces up against Brandon Jawato. ODB for 3, good.
And Darian Bassett showing that he is 100% okay, back from that right calf injury. Already has 5 points across his name.
Explosive start for O'Darian Bassett and the rest of Hong Kong Eastern. Herring with a good pass down low. And that could not happen. Holyfield, as their lone big man, will have to do his best to stay away from fouls. Do you give up an easy basket? Or is it more important to challenge and maybe commit a foul? That is the question for the big man right now.
Well, for Holyfield, he has to realize that he is a very main focal point in the offense of Hong Kong Eastern. Without him, there's no big enough center that can match up with Watkins. He has to be able to watch out for his fouls.
Watkins averaging 14.1 points per game, 10 rebounds. He's already halfway there as he has 8 points. Not even in the halfway mark of our opening quarter. So it's Maxi Esho guarding either O'Darian Bassett or Marcus Elliott. And that is why they're trying their best to blow by him on offense. ODB attacks once again, unstoppable.
And O'Darian Bassett just so fast, so quick, so strong to the basket.
But a quick attack for Brandon Jawato on the other side. It's a good idea to try and challenge the interior defense of Hong Kong Eastern in this game.
And you know, I think in the 3-game losing streak prior to this ball game, it was clear that they were really missing the offensive prowess of Darian Bassett, as you see here.
Jawato takes care of the first local scorer. He goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. You know, what a turnaround for the BTN CLS Knights. They did not make it into the playoffs in their maiden season in the ASEAN Basketball League. Now they're gunning for a top 4 spot.
Well, I think with their import change last December 2018, it really made the biggest difference. And so far, their composure, their chemistry within the floor is really showing.
Douglas Herring open for a 3-point shot. Defense of Hong Kong Eastern slow to get back. And Herring makes it pay. Deadlock here at 15 apiece. 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in your opening quarter.
Well, Douglas Herring showing from a very, very good game with that winning basket as to see the first 3-point shot.
Chan Chu-Wing connecting from deep, and you can see there Daryl Watkins trying to bait Holyfield into a foul. He knows he already has one across his name, and getting a second early in the ball game will change the entire flow of this contest for Hong Kong Eastern. It's a hot battle thus far, a high-scoring game between Hong Kong Eastern and the BTN CLS Knights, home team, up 18-15.
Swing, left-hand side, Lee Marcos, Mike, John. Right? Hey, everybody, press the ball.
Coach Brian Rowsom of the BTN CLS Knights dishing out some instructions for his squad. They've been playing so well as of late. Capped by that emotional 1-point victory against the Saigon Heat, which gave them the opportunity to try and chase a top 4 spot.
Well, you know, the importance of getting that win, approaching the quarterfinals, I think that's very character building.
Yeah.
A character building game, a character building win for the BTN CLS Knights.
And also to add to that, I mean, of course, you want home court advantage, but especially so for a team like BTN CLS because they are 10-3 at home. An outstanding record at home for this squad, and that is why they're gunning hard to get that advantage, to give themselves the perfect opportunity to advance to our Final 4. Quick attack once again for Brandon Jawato. He has 4 points in the game.
Well, to add to your point, your fan base is always your 6th man on the floor. So that's really just an added confidence booster for the BTN CLS Knights.
For San Miguel Ala Pilipinas, the best home team with 12-11. Followed by the Formosa Dreamers, the top team in the standings at 11-2. But BTN CLS right behind them at 10-3. Darian Bassett will take a break. Lane King will check into the ball game for the very first time. He was explosive, no doubt about it. We're talking about Darian Bassett, but you still don't want to push him as much here in the first quarter. Maybe allow him a few minutes to get warmed up.
Well, definitely, because it's his first game back in almost a month. So him, though, showing no signs of his injury. So that's a great sign for the Hong Kong Eastern.
Oh,
a great sign there.
Great pass coming from Lakey. 20-17 is the count. A 3-point lead still for Hong Kong Eastern. Daryl Watkins on the bench right now for the BTN CLS Knights. Chance Ewing for another 3. God!
And that's back-to-back triples. And we all know that once he gets hot, he can go on a streak.
It looks like BTN CLS is getting baited into the flow of the game that Hong Kong Eastern is more comfortable with now.
Well, so far, Hong Kong Eastern just dictating the tempo, and I think that was something that O'Darian Bassett was able to establish in the first quarter. Again, a game of adjustments. BTN CLS Knights did not know that Sam Deguara was not going to play up until early this morning.
So when Sam Deguara was here, you have to wait on him to start your attack on offense,
And
wait for him defensively.
Exactly, and aside from that, it would be a much slower ball game with Marcus Elliott, the main focal point on the guard end.
Great sign here for BTN CLS getting baskets from Nugroho. Meanwhile, Xiu comes up with another basket.
And aside from O'Darian Bassett being just so aggressive on the offensive end, here we see Marcus Elliott creating for his teammates, for the local players, and that's very important to get the local players involved as well if you want to get the W tonight.
6-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern. They're looking to add. Marcus Elliott in traffic, no good. Counter-attack now for BTN CLS. Herring fouled, not a problem, as he sinks the basket anyway.
Douglas Herring showing his upper body strength on that one, fishing for the foul, and an easy end one for him.
Once he gets going on the break, he is virtually impossible to stop. Douglas Herring, the hero for the Knights in their last win against the Saigon Heat. Finally getting started here in our opening quarter as he misses the bonus free throw. Outstanding shooting thus far from both squads. 61 and 50%. That is why the score is very high right now, 25-21. Holyfield with another offensive rebound. He has been a rock on the offensive board for Hong Kong Eastern. Chan Chiu Wing goes to Marcus Elliott, top of the key. One dribble, pull-up jumper, rattles out. Wong Wei Long bringing the ball down. Sets up Douglas Herring for three. No. Oh, he chases down the loose ball. It slams to the sideline.
So that's
Looks like he's okay, but that is just the value of every
Exactly.
possession in this ball game.
That's the aggressiveness and the willingness, the wantingness to get that ball. And hopefully that's something that Douglas Herring can translate to the rest of his teammates.
And when you see your import, your leading scorer, diving for loose balls like that, if you're a local, there's really no excuse.
And as I mentioned earlier, he's a two-way player, defense and offense. And that's why Coach Coco Nugroho, the assistant coach of the BTN CLS Knights, he said that Douglas Herring is really the #1 leader of their team. They look up to him defensively. And so far, they have to make the necessary adjustments because giving up 25 points in one quarter alone is too high. I actually was able to talk to him earlier, and he mentioned that he wants to be able to control the game at around 18 points per quarter. So far in the first quarter, unable to do that.
Again, they were baited into the speed that Hong Kong wanted in this ball game. Without Sam Deguara, everyone's just running from Hong Kong Eastern. 27-21 now is the count, a 6-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern. Wong Wei Long almost lost the ball. Maxi Esho has it, Linky all over him. They send it out to Herring. Sandy Corniawan to Nugroho, back to Sandy. The sweet shooting guard, no good. But they get another crack at the basket. Wong Wei Long has the ball once again. Sandy, one dribble, pull-up jumper, good.
And there you saw the Hong Kong Eastern. They were playing great defense up until the last few seconds.
Unstoppable Michael Holyfield here in the first quarter. Nugroho fronted. Herring tried to get the steal from the back. Nothing worked out for them.
Well, without Watkins, you can really see that Hong Kong Eastern will really beat it to Holyfield.
Corner, three-point shot, no good. As Exo controls the rebound. Still a 6-point lead here for Hong Kong Eastern. Already 8 points in the game for Michael Holyfield. The first time he's playing without Sam Deguara. Wong Wei Long for three. Yes! What a finish in our first quarter of action. The pace has been unbelievable thus far. A high-scoring first quarter. Hong Kong Eastern will hang on to a 3-point lead, 29-26, after that buzzer-beating three coming from Wong Wei Long. Second quarter action about to begin here inside the Southern Stadium in Wan Chai, Hong Kong. Hong Kong Eastern up by 3 points as both teams torch the net in those first 10 minutes of action. Daryl Watkins spearheading the attack for BTN CLS. Michael Holyfield doing the same for Hong Kong Eastern as both big men have engaged in the duel. They have 8 points apiece in this contest thus far. Daryl Watkins will try again, well defended by Holyfield that time.
But so far, the reason why Hong Kong Eastern has this 3-point lead, aside from Holyfield and Darian Bassett being loading the scoring for the Hong Kong Eastern, they had 7 assists, so it's very important for them to share that basketball. As you see, the 4th 3-point shot of Hong Kong Eastern, their outside shooting really clicking tonight.
Lakey hitting his first basket on the ball game. Breakdown defensively there as John Chu lost his footing. Easy basket for Maxi Esho. The Knights staying within striking distance against Hong Kong Eastern. Cross-court pass to Lakey. Another three, not this time. Jawato has been aggressively attacking after getting rebounds. Another basket coming from the local.
And that was 1 versus 4. All his teammates behind the half-court line, but still aggressive to the basket.
6 points in the contest for Jawato as Sandy Corniawan shows great defense there, reading where the pass was going.
Marcus Dalit was going for that backdoor play. Well read.
Chan Chuing gets a nice ovation from the fans here. And also his teammates on the bench as O'Darian Bassett checks back into this contest. Sandy Corniawan sends it to Maxi Esho against Adam Shu. Esho lost control on the ball, but a hack was called at the last moment, whistled against Shu.
Maxi Esho still very quiet in tonight's ball game. Only 2 points across his name.
Jawato, the inbounder, wanted to steal a play there, but Watkins was well defended by Holyfield. You know, so far so good for Holyfield, holding the fort down for Hong Kong Eastern.
But it'll be interesting to see how long Coach Edu Torres will keep Holyfield on the floor.
Brandon Jawato nails the three-point shot. He is now their new leading scorer of this ball game with 9 points.
And it's just 5 straight points there for Brandon Jawato. Earlier we saw him drive straight to the lane, and then now we have an outside shot by him.
And just like that, the CLS Knights retake the lead 33-32. As Elliott misses from the corner. You can see when Douglas Herring has the ball, it is obvious that he wants to slow things down a little bit.
Exactly, because a while ago, as I mentioned, Hong Kong Eastern was dictating the tempo of the ball game. It was fast-paced. BTN CLS Knights could not keep up, as we see O'Darian Bassett back here in the second quarter, still hot from the field. That's 9 points already for him. What a comeback game.
Watkins working hard down low, gets his own miss and scores on the putback. He has 10 in this game.
As you see, Holyfield slow to get back on the floor. So far, him getting a little bit tired.
Leakey for 3, no. And that foul will be whistled. Looks like it'll be against Watkins. But as you said, as you noted, Bea, Watkins already had a few minutes of break in the first quarter. Holyfield, no other choice but to stay in the game. And now, there might be a substitution coming from Hong Kong Eastern. Coach Edu Torres will be replacing Holyfield. Let's see how Hong Kong will be able to hold on.
So you see how Holyfield is really huffing and puffing, and we need to be able to preserve his energy because we are only in the second quarter.
That's a substitute big man Chun Sing coming off the bench. As we have some issues with our mop. It happens, everyone.
But still making do with that.
Oh, sure, of course. And now Elliott, because of his mopping abilities, will get a round of applause from our fans inside the Southern Stadium. Of course, he wants to make sure that this will be a playable court. Don't want any injuries happening, especially with the playoffs coming up.
It's the second to the last elimination day. And so much still can happen with the outcome of this ball game.
O'Darian Bassett goes to Singh. He sends the ball out to Leakey. 4 seconds remaining. Key blocked there off top.
And great defensive rotation there for the BTN CLS Knights.
Maxi Esho fakes the 3. Baseline jumper is good.
And after only 2 points in the first quarter, Maxi Esho, his 4th point of the ball game.
Bassett, one-on-one against Herring. He pulls up for 3. Oh, good again.
And that was great defense, but even better offense for O'Darian Bassett. That's already his 12th point of the ball game.
Counter 3 is good for Santi Gurniawan.
And just like in the first quarter rather, both teams answering back each other.
It's a firefight inside the Southern Stadium. Douglas Herring on attack mode, both for the layup. It's good.
And this time even the BTN CLS Knights picking up the pace.
5-point lead now being enjoyed by the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia, with Mike Holyfield needing to take a break. The Knights getting going on offense. 5-point lead as we head into this timeout. The visiting BTN CLS Knights trying to take command of this ball game. Midway through our second quarter of action, they're up 42-37. 5 minutes and 52 remaining in our first half. O'Darian Bassett starting for Hong Kong Eastern with 12 points in the ball game. On the other side, Daryl Watkins leading his team with 10. Marcus Elliott would not nail it from the corner as Esho grabs an easy rebound. It's one and done without Holyfield fighting for offensive rebounds for Hong Kong Eastern.
But aside from Holyfield not on the floor, you can really see the defensive rotation of the CLS Knights just more aggressive.
But Brian Rowsom deciding to also give Daryl Watkins some rest. Nice pass. And an even better finish coming from Marcus Elliott.
And it's the backcourt import connection that I'm sure Marcus Elliott badly missed. Great bounce pass there by Bassett.
Purnyawan will try again from the corner. Made one, missed his last two. But his teammates are really looking for him. They want to get him going, heading into the playoffs. Adam Shu with a size advantage against Wong Wei Long. Shu draws the foul from Wei Long.
And Wong Wei Long, very sticky on his defense, got a little bit too close, called on a hand-checking foul for that.
And now a timeout requested by the Knights. Coach Edu Torres sending Holyfield back into the ball game. Daryl Watkins will do the same for the Knights when we come back from this quick break.
Screen, okay? We stay wall defense, everybody rebounds, okay? We don't need fast break until we rebound, okay? You want on offense, Doug. You got Daryl, man.
For Coach Edu Torres, it's all about surviving those vital minutes when you have to give Michael Holyfield some rest.
Well, so far he was only given 3 minutes of rest, and automatically Coach Edu Torres letting him check back into the ball game when he was gone. This is when the BTN CLS Knights created this 3-point lead.
Marcus Elliott, good pin down screen coming from Holyfield, but he could not connect from the corner. Good read coming from Lakey, but he could not complete the stop. Wong Wei Long for three, no. Wei Long wanting to get going offensively. Rushed that shot, instead turns the ball over.
Exactly, he was able to convert on his first 3-point attempt. He had a free lane, but opted to take that outside shot.
ODB runs the horn. O'Darian Bassett freezes his defender. Mid-range jumper is gone.
Someone needs to stop O'Darian Bassett one-on-one. Shakes his defender and still able to make that shot from the outside.
Brandon Chawato misses his second attempt from deep. You said earlier, and I definitely agree with you, Herring is one of the best defensive guards in the APL. Not looking that way right now with O'Darian Bassett on fire.
Well, so far, O'Darian Bassett up against any player on the BTN CLS Knights as we see another great extra pass for Holyfield.
Daryl Watkins caught napping there as Michael Holyfield was able to sneak in with a short baseline cut. Wong Wei Long lost the ball to Lakey. O'Darian Bassett up ahead, up top, look out! The bad boys of Hong Kong Eastern combining again for a highlight play, to 42. Lead is back on their side. When Marcus Elliott takes flight, it's lob at first side coming from O'Darian Bassett. The two guards with a highlight play to give their team a 3-point lead.
Stay low. Time to right. Keep moving your feet, right? Use the hand. You gotta waste the power. No problem.
Everybody, we make one pass and then we try to go one-on-one. Move the ball. Move it around. Okay, let everybody touch the ball, then we can score. Okay? No more turnovers, guys. No more turnovers, no more bad shots. Okay, that's how we get in trouble. We get in transition. All right? Let's go back inside. Move the ball. Move the ball. Do that next time on offense. Stay warm and stay ready.
The biggest takeaway from this timeout coming from Coach Brian Rowsom is his instruction specifically to stop taking bad shots. They've taken some poor ones, leading to easy baskets for Hong Kong Eastern on the other side.
Well, earlier we saw Wong Wei Wong. He took a shot from the outside despite him having a clear lane to the basket. So they must be able to relax, set their offensive sets in the half court to be able to get the best possible shot. As we see them currently now at the deficit of 3 points.
They have not been able to maximize their size advantage in this game against Hong Kong Eastern. There we go, a much better look coming from Maxi Esho down low.
And finally, we see him attacking the defense of the Hong Kong Eastern, which he wasn't able to do earlier here in the second quarter.
Because at any given point, either Watkins or Esho will be on a mismatch as Bassett misses from the outside. 45-44, 1-point lead for the home squad. Maxi Esho uses the screen, bounces the pass to Watkins. Give and go for a Maxi Esho dunk.
And just a great two-man ball game, unselfishness between Watkins and Maxi Esho. And that's what they need to do, attack the defense of Hong Kong Eastern. They're much bigger when they're playing their two-man ball game.
Adam Shu is clearly fouled down low en route to the basket as he's about to take 2 free throws. How about the ebb and flow of this game? One team will get the lead by 3, but at the snap of a finger, the other team mounts a comeback to reclaim the lead.
Well, Carlo, just shows that the playoffs is just around the corner. Because so far, just in this ball game, it already feels like it's a playoff. Again, just so much at stake, especially for the BTN CLS Knights, who are trying to get that home court advantage in case they win this ball game.
If you're Hong Kong Eastern, you just want to stay away from that number 8, number 7 spot. Steer clear of the Formosa Dreamers and the San Miguel Ala Filipinas, who have been head and shoulders above the competition in this entire ABL season. Douglas Herring drops the double team, sends it out to Watkins. Maxi Esho up top against Adam Shu. Herring gets it against Bassett. Herring makes his move. The runner does not get the friendly roll. 46-46, final couple of minutes in our first half of action. Marcus Elliott turns the corner. Lefty shot no good. He gets a rebound though. Put back is gone with a foul.
And what about Marcus Elliott? The BTN CLS Knights much bigger, much stronger in this lineup, but so far no one there to box him out. Marcus Elliott getting his own rebound. As you see those 4 players in their black jersey just watching him get that rebound and easily put that end one play.
Brandon Jawato stopped defending. After challenging for the shot, he lost sight of Marcus Elliott for the offensive rebound as Hong Kong Eastern reclaims the lead 48-46. Quick move coming from Herring.
And that's
that'll
a
be 2 free
second foul.
throws coming from Herring. Yep, second foul on Holyfield as well. Watkins will be taking a break. Nugroho coming for him. Clear foul there coming from Holyfield. But not bad in terms of limiting his fouls to only 2 in the first half of action. with only a minute and 30 remaining.
And hopefully he will be able to retain the 2 fouls, but Coach Edu Torres doing a very smart decision of putting him on the bench with just a minute and 30 seconds remaining.
He'd rather play at the disadvantage in size rather than risk the 3rd foul of Holyfield here in the 2nd period.
But so far for the BTN CLS Knights, they have to be able to recognize their advantage in their size. Once they're able to do that, they will slow down the pace of this ball game.
There it is, an offensive rebound, maximizing that size advantage. Brandon Jawato attacks inside, misses. And that ball will bounce to the favor of Hong Kong Eastern. Coach Brian Rowsom matching up with Hong Kong Eastern's lack of ceiling. As Nugroho exits, in comes Sandy Corniawan. Chan Chiu Wing checks back into the contest as well.
And for Hong Kong Eastern, going very small ball for them, as Marcus Elliott is already playing the number 4 spot.
Literally the only legitimate big man in this floor right now is Maxi Esho, as Lakey misses from the outside. Minute remaining in the 2nd quarter. Esho looking for options, goes to Brandon Jawato. Shot clock is at 13 for the BTN CLS Knights. Esho dumps the ball down low. Herring backing down against Chan Chiu Wing. One-hander is gone.
And you like the patience there being displayed by Herring, slowly backing down his defender. As you see Coach Edu Torres asking for an offensive foul.
Look at these 2 coaches asking the referees to call a technical foul on the other. The gamesmanship, the emotions running high. Coach Edu Torres requesting a timeout, as he did not like that no call. Chan Chiu Wing drop, allowing a wide open basket from Douglas Herring. The score 49 for the BTN CLS Knights, 48 for Hong Kong Eastern. .3 seconds remaining in your 2nd quarter of play. A 1-point lead for the BTN CLS Knights after a conversion coming from Douglas Herring. 5 on the floor for Hong Kong Eastern. John Siu, O'Darian Bassett, Chan Chiu Wing, Marcus Elliott, and Lei Ki. ODB against Maxi Esho. Foul given up there by Esho. The basket will not count. It happened before the shot attempt. But the CLS Knights are already in the penalty situation, sending him to the free throw line.
And you see the respect of the BTN CLS Knights on O'Darian Bassett. Earlier, it was Douglas Herring going up against him, but this time it was Maxi Esho already. So just switching up the players, trying to see which player can actually stop the drive to the basket of O'Darian Bassett.
He's so difficult to defend. He can shoot the 3, can stop and pop for that 1 dribble pull-up jumper, can finish at the rim, can also locate open teammates. So you are always guessing as a defender what ODB is up to.
He's just a complete player, and he's not just a scorer, as you mentioned. He creates for his teammates, and I think that's why they already have 12 assists for them. And they average 17 per game, so already surpassing the halfway mark. And we're only alone in the second quarter.
Brandon Chawato with an early drive. They wanted a 2-for-1. Not the smartest of ideas because that will allow Hong Kong Eastern to try and finish this first half of action on a good note. They're down by 1. ODB has the ball. Maxi Esho giving him a lot of space. Bassett running the clock down. It's at 4. ODB for 3. OMG! What a shot coming from Bassett.
Well, Maxi Esho gave him space, and O'Darian Bassett made him pay. Just an all-around game so far here in the first half for O'Darian Bassett and the rest of the Hong Kong Eastern as they get a 2-point lead approaching the half.
7 points already for O'Darian Bassett. Holyfield backing him up with 10 as they lead 51-49 against the BTN CLS Knights heading into our halftime break.
Hi, Coach. You seem so calm along the court side. So what's in your mind? You seem so calm.
Well, it's a good game, and I'm just trying to be calm because the crowd is very loud, and it also calms our players a little bit too, so I want them to stay focused.
Okay, the team seems cannot find an efficient way to stop OD. So can you explain what's your strategy in the second half?
Well, we definitely have to put more pressure on him because he's a good scorer, and we got to get our hands up too when they shoot the ball and then also rebound. So if we do that better in the second half, we have a good chance.
The leading position changed quite a few times, so it's a tight game. So what's your plans to make your teams to be the winner for today's game?
Well, we have to play. They scored 51 points, and that's too many, so we got to play a little bit better defense. We got to rebound, and also on offense, we're missing some easy shots inside, so we got to make those also.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
What makes a champion? Passion, grit, determination.
A challenge can make or break you. Work hard in silence. Let success be your noise.
Never stop, you can only get better. The only one that can hold you back is yourself.
I'm a warrior, I put my war paint on.
We are the composers of our own destiny. Nothing is out of reach if we dare to dream the impossible. Believe the unbelievable and never take no for an answer. Because greatness is in all of us. For we are all champions.
Second to the last week before the end of the eliminations, and while we know all the playoff teams, we don't know who's gonna finish at number 1 in the ABL top 10. Let's find out right now. Starting us off at number 10 is this nifty pass from Dang Quat Tran over to D'Angelo Hamilton in the home of the BTN CLS Knights. Court vision from Tran, able to find the world import lumber to the rim. That's number 10. Number 9, we stay with the Heat as Corey Celia from beyond the arc to beat the buzzer. What a shot! And that would help give Saigon an 8-point lead heading into the half, where they would eventually overcome the Singapore Slingers. Big shot from the local as he shows off the range to knock down the triple. That's at number 9. At number 8, the newest face of the Macau Black Bears, DeWarrick Spencer, announcing, signifying, telling everyone that he's here and he's ready to roll with the Black Bears. Check this out once again as Spencer from way beyond half court, the range, splashing it at number 8. Number 7, it's Ryan Watkins, the Spencer, the Watkins once again. How many times have you seen a double alley-oop in the ABL? Well, now you've seen it with your own 2 eyes as the world imports hooking up and making mincemeat of the Wolf Warriors. Number 6, we go to the Formosa Dreamers, who have been red hot all season long. And it's defense like that from Malcolm Miller helping the Dreamers take away the number 1 seed from San Miguel Alam, Pilipinas. At number 5, D'Angelo Hamilton not only scoring but also protecting the rim. Check out the denial on John Fields III, and then one more time for good measure, this time on the X-Man. Look at the defense from D'Angelo Hamilton. That's your number 5. Number 4, Jaron Young. Does this shot look familiar? It could be from the good doctor. Talking about Dr. J, as Jaron Young able to get all the way to the rim with the reverse. Number 3, we go to one of the most creative scorers in the ABL. Mike McKinney jab stepping and fading away all the way to number 3. What a shot there from the red hot world import of the Black Bears. Number 2, in one of the most thrilling games of the season, the Knights had to complete the comeback within double-digit deficit, and they were able to do that courtesy of Wong Wei Long, the triple, and then on transition, the BTN CLS Knights would find the former MVP. And Wong would give the Knights the lead once again after being down by double digits with a minute remaining in the game. One of the greatest comebacks in the ABL this season, Wong Wei Long splashing his way to number 2. And the best part of that game was the final shot of the BTN CLS Knights, as Douglas Herring getting all the way to the rim, finishing with the contact, finding a way using all types of English to finish over the Saigon Heat and finish at number 1 in your ABL Top 10 Plays of the Week. It is the
What makes a champion? Passion, grit, determination.
A challenge can make or break you. Work hard in silence. Let success be your noise.
Never stop, you can only get better. The only one that can hold you back is yourself.
I'm a warrior. I put my war paint on.
We are the composers of our own destiny. Nothing is out of reach if we dare to dream the impossible. Believe the unbelievable and never take no for an answer. Because greatness is in all of us. For we are all champions.
First half of the action, we have Hong Kong Eastern holding on to a slim advantage, 51-49 against the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia. O'Darian Bassett leading the attack for Hong Kong Eastern, the home squad with 17 points in the game, backed up by Michael Holyfield with 10 points in the contest. On the other side for the BTN CLS Knights, they have 3 players already scoring in double digits with 10 apiece. Carlo Pamintuan and Bea Diaz on the call, coming to you from the Southern Stadium in Wan Chai, Hong Kong. What were the numbers that dictated the result so far after the first 20 minutes of action?
Well, so far it's been obvious that O'Darian Bassett has marked his return here with the 17 points already in the first half. But one key stat that we have to take note of is their 12 assists. They average only a 17 assists per ball game. That's already more than halfway, and we're already only in the second quarter. So it just goes to show that he is not only a scorer, he sets up his teammates, and I think the energy that he's bringing on the floor has been contagious. All his teammates have been aggressive. They've actually out-rebounded the DTN CLS Knights, despite the DTN CLS Knights being much taller than them in their lineup today. 25-20 in terms of rebounds. On the other end of the floor, for the Knights, they need to be able to dictate the tempo. So far, they've given up 51 big points already. If they want to be a defensive-oriented team, they have to slow down the pace of the ball game, do their half-court sets, and be able to maximize the mismatches and the size advantage that they have down low.
The biggest story before this ball game started was the big move pulled off by Hong Kong Eastern, activating O'Darian Bassett from their injured list, replacing Samuel Deguara, their giant, their big man. The center of attention is no longer with this squad. In comes Michael Holyfield as a starting center now for Hong Kong Eastern, and so far, so good. Even if BTN CLS has a couple of talented big men in Maxi Esho and Daryl Watkins, it's actually a 26-24 advantage in terms of inside points for Hong Kong Eastern.
Paint, that's right. And so far, it's also because the defense of the DTN CLS Knights has been lagging. They've been allowing Marcus Elliott and O'Darian Bassett clear lanes to the basket inside the paint. So it hasn't just only been Michael Holyfield, but a collective effort for Hong Kong Eastern in attacking the basket and attacking the defense of the Knights.
What is the biggest adjustment that you want to see coming from the Knights at the start of our third quarter?
Well, 2 things. One thing would be slow down the pace of the ball game, run their half-court sets, and second would be locate the mismatches. So far for the Hong Kong Eastern, their only legitimate big man is really just Michael Holyfield. And aside from him, no one else would be able to match up against Maxi Esho. So I want to be able to see Maxi Esho impose his will inside the paint here in the second half.
How about for Hong Kong Eastern? Is this offense almost solely centered on O'Darian Bassett sustainable for them here in the second half?
Well, so far, if no one can stop O'Darian Bassett, then why not why stop doing what they've been doing? They've been doing great. The energy has been so high. Even the fan base here is loving the intensity of their ball games. If they be able to be consistent for the next 20 minutes of action, things will be looking good for Hong Kong Eastern.
BTN CLS Knights looking for a top 4 spot as they meet at the O'Darian basket. Starts the third quarter like how he ended the second.
And he hasn't cooled down one bit despite the half-court break. 20 points across the name of O'Darian Bassett. Just a big comeback game for him after that right calf injury that sat him out.
Defensively, how do you want BTN CLS Knights to adjust and try and slow down O'Darian Bassett?
Well, so far, if they cannot match up with him one-on-one, they may be able to do a box-and-one and prevent him from getting that basketball, because so far, one-on-one, he's been breaking down almost all the defenders put across his name.
ODB with the basketball. Maxi Esho on him. He has a distinct speed advantage against a big man. Bassett still with the ball, uses the screen. They go to Marcus Elliott down low, no advantage there. Chance Yu Wing for 3, gone!
And you saw there the BTN CLS Knights going for a zone, but once again, Hong Kong Eastern killing them with their outside shot.
Zone defense against a hot-shooting Hong Kong Eastern, that might just be flirting with disaster for the BTN CLS Knights. They need to score in this situation. They're already down big at the start of third quarter. Lucky break there, friendly roll for Darryl Watkins.
And he had to plead for those 2 points against the defense of Michael Holyfield. But great turnaround basket for him.
Again, 2-3 zone employed by BTN CLS. O'Darian Bassett top of the key against Wong Wei Long. He goes inside, one-hander, no good.
And
Good
this
defense
time,
there.
great help defense by Watkins.
Wong Wei Long bounces the pass to Jawato. Goes to Herring, now to Watkins at the pinch post. Watkins makes his move. That is a blocking foul, holding foul, yep, on Michael Holyfield.
And so far, you like the aggressiveness of Watkins trying to fish for that foul. And so far, he was able to do a great job. That's the third foul for Michael Holyfield. Both of them going down on the floor. But a clear foul there by Holyfield.
Hong Kong Eastern, of course, not liking it, asking for a charging foul. But it will not change things. Holyfield whistled for the hold, and it will send Watkins to the free throw line. More importantly, for BTN CLS, that is the third personal foul
Exactly.
of Holyfield in this game, and he picks it up very early here in the third quarter.
Because when he was about to go down, that was the time when he grabbed on the hand of Watkins, and that was what the referee saw that made them call that foul.
And the referee explaining the call, Coach Edu Torres. He became a lot of leeway because he was already warned that the next one would be a technical foul. As Watkins hits the first free throw. There was a long conversation between Holyfield and Watkins, of course, pleading their own case against each other. Like it matters, it doesn't, because the call was already made.
It's just a friendly competition between these two players.
Chan Chu Wing brings the ball down for Hong Kong Eastern. Uses the screen from Holyfield. Goes to the corner. John Chu, the stop pull the trigger. Elliott attacks to his left. Wanted to go to Holyfield. That pass was tapped before it bounced out. It will remain with Hong Kong Eastern. 10 seconds remaining in their shot clock.
But so far, you like the weak side defense of the BTN CLS Knights. Much more aggressive here in the third quarter.
John Chu with a jumper, no good, as a foul will be called against Watkins. Holyfield has position on him for that loose ball foul. That's also the third personal foul of Watkins, putting him in level footing with Michael Holyfield. But again, in this game, Holyfield field is more important to Hong Kong Eastern's cause. Douglas Herring scores with a layup on the other side of a steal.
And just an easy picking there for Douglas Herring. As you see, the great adjustment immediately by the BTN CLS Knights. Earlier they were going zone and they went to a man-to-man defense that shook up the offense of Hong Kong Eastern. And just like that, they're only down by 2 points.
6-0 run for BTN CLS. Maxi Esho fakes the three and then decides to pull the trigger, no good.
May not be the best shot there for Maxi Esho, opting for that outside shot.
John Shu from the corner.
And that's already the 7th, or make that the 8th three-point shot for Hong Kong Eastern.
They have 3 converted here in the third quarter.
And that's
As Douglas Herring picks up his own miss. Cross-court pass, Wong Wei Long. Counter 3, no good. Battle for the rebound, won by Holyfield. Marcus Elliott testing the defense of Wong Wei Long. His pass tapped. Look at the dive coming from Wong Wei Long. Maxi Esho, highlight.
And Maxi Esho showing his handles. Going behind the back versus Chan Shu Wing. And then goes high rising for that slam.
I think the mop guy halted the action by going to the floor while the play was live, and he will receive a stern warning here coming from our referees. You're not allowed to do that unless they call you in, unless it's a dead ball.
He was trying to make sure that no injuries would happen.
I'm sure he had the clearest of intentions, but he's not allowed to do that. So we will have a reset on the shot clock for Hong Kong. You know, he's lucky that it was Hong Kong's possession. If it was BTN CLS
he would
ball,
have heard it from all the fans in the stadium.
Yeah, it would have been very different.
But again, so far, the BTN CLS Knights going for that man-to-man after the 2 straight three-point shots by Hong Kong Eastern. And so far, they've been able to make the necessary stops.
And
Earlier, we saw 4 straight fast break points. And then now another stop.
It's all about the pressure on O'Darian Bassett. They are forcing him to give up the ball.
Exactly, because early on in the first half, they were allowing him to dance around, sagging, allowing him to shoot. But this time, really putting pressure defense on him.
Brandon Jawato with a nice drive there. Drawing a foul from Marcus Elliott and heading to the free throw line for 2.
And you like the aggressiveness of Brandon Jawato. Even on the start of the first quarter, you've seen him relentlessly attacking the basket. And even if it doesn't shoot, he continues that attacking mentality.
Jawato, the 4th member of the BTN CLS Knights to hit double digits. There are 3 imports, 14, 12, and 12. Now he has 10. Second free throw, also good for Jawato. Only a 1-point lead now for Hong Kong Eastern, 60-59. Chan Shu Wing for 3, draws a foul, knocks down the shot anyway.
And that's Chan Shu Wing's 4th three-point shot in the ball game. Just the hot shooting of Hong Kong Eastern at the sky high in this ball game tonight.
Chan Shu Wing, all about 3, and the specialist converting on the 4-point play, extending their lead to 5 points, 64-59.
And it's all about consistency. Once he's wide open with that 3-point shot, even a hand on his face, he's still able to make that shot. As you see, a great reverse layup there by Watkins.
Good response coming from the CLS Knights, mounting the rock inside. Bassett for 3, good!
And O'Darian Bassett joining the 3-point party here for Hong Kong Eastern.
Well, he actually started it. It's his own party, so he can do whatever he wants. ODB, outstanding performance with 23 points in the game. Uh-oh, this could be troublesome for Hong Kong Eastern. who will be called for the foul. It is Holyfield. That is foul number 4 for Mike Holyfield. Herring with a good drive. And he lowered his arms a little bit. They crossed with Herring, forcing the referee to call the foul. 67-61, we have a timeout. 6-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern. Triples in the ball game thus far for Hong Kong Eastern, led by O'Darian Bassett, 5 of 7 from deep. Chan Shu Wing shooting even better at 4 of 5, but they will have to weather a big storm coming up. Michael Holyfield called for his 4th personal foul, knocking him out perhaps for the rest of this 3rd quarter.
And you see his replacement is Shu Kin Fan. And you already see the size disparity between him and Watkins side by side. He will definitely have his hands full, so maybe Hong Kong Eastern will go for a zone, because if they go man-to-man, then Watkins will really take advantage of that big mismatch.
Great drive coming from Herring, Fishing Expedition, to draw the 4th personal foul of Holyfield, as they're now working on a 4-point deficit, 67-63.
A small ball once again for Hong Kong Eastern.
Marcus Elliott, 3-point shot on the way.
And this is what I really mean about him joining the 3-point party, Carlo. That's the 12th 3-point shot, 42% clip for Hong Kong Eastern. They only average 35% from the beyond the arc so far in this league.
Great call, Bea, for the zone defense for Hong Kong Eastern. Still could not do anything to stop Daryl Watkins, just too big inside.
It was just a simple high-low play, and he was able to seal his defender completely for that easy basket.
Defense of the Knights extending to the outside, wiry of the 3-point shooting. Marcus Elliott, back-to-back threes. Yes, sir!
And we have to understand the reason why he was able to be free in that outside shot. And once again, it's O'Darian Bassett attacking the defense of Esho, as we see Esho answering back with a 3-point basket of his own. That's his first outside shot.
Good counter coming from Maxi Esho, cutting their deficit back down to 5, 73-68. ODB, tough jumper, no good.
May have been a 4-shot as he apologizes right away to Marcus Elliott.
Wong Wei Long has the ball against Lakey. Dumps the ball down low to Watkins, size advantage. He goes to Brandon Jawato for another 3, good again.
And this is the big turn of events for the BTN CLS Knights. Watkins earlier made an easy turnaround basket. This time around, locating his teammate for that wide open 3-point shot.
But you can feel that the attention of all Hong Kong Eastern defenders is focused on Daryl Watkins inside. And if you are a Knight, you're just looking for a spot where you can be effective. Brandon Jawato finding himself open for that 3.
And that's what I talk about, patience in your half-court sets. And so far, Watkins really been patient looking for that wide open teammate of his.
When we say that Watkins has a big size advantage against John Shu, it doesn't mean that we expect him to take all of the shots. It just means that the offense will have to go through him.
And that just shows the high basketball IQ of Watkins, being able to find the best possible shot in their offense.
Ball rotation goes to Jawato for three. Good again. Back-to-back threes for Brandon Jawato.
And now you see the confidence, the different kind of play that the BTN CLS Knights is trying to show. With so far, Michael Holyfield on the bench with 4 personal fouls.
Jawato is now the leading scorer for BTN CLS with 17 points in the game. Careless turnover here. Sandy Corñawan not being able to save the ball from bouncing out on the sideline. Yes, Hong Kong Eastern will have a chance to add on to their 1-point lead.
A great stop there by Chan Shu Wing and the rest of Hong Kong Eastern as they try to protect this slim 1-point lead.
Marcus Elliott, another three straight away, gone!
Make that 3 straight 3-point shots for Marcus Elliott in this third quarter alone. So Darian Bassett has been a bit quiet, but here we see Jawato joining the 3-point party. That's 3 threes as well for him here in the third quarter.
Unbelievable shooting we're witnessing here at the Southern Stadium. The fans being treated to a shootout.
Exactly, the rim here just wide open for both teams.
Marcus Elliott one more time. Defense got to him this time around. 78-77, 1-point lead for Hong Kong Eastern. Douglas Herring, cross-court pass, Sandy Corñawan, his own three, no good.
Oh! And Darian Bassett skying high against Watkins for that one-handed rebound.
ODB attack, hook pass, ball rotation, Chan Shu Wing, one dribble, pull up three, no. Counter-attack here for the Knights. Brandon Jawato all the way, loses grip, put back, still no good for Maxi Esho.
You like the aggressiveness of Shu Kin Fan being able to hold down that rebound versus the much taller Watkins.
Hong Kong Eastern hanging on to this 1-point advantage. ODB to Lakey for three, no. Marcus Elliott almost getting a hand on that ball for a putback. Maxi Esho, casual 3-point shot, could not knock it down. You see both teams falling in love with a 3-point shot.
But the fans here just loving it. The pace of the game has really picked up. Back and forth action.
And the clock is down. It's ODB time. Bassett goes to Chan Shu Wing. Lakey for three. Gone! The Southern Stadium brought their umbrellas. It's raining threes coming from Hong Kong Eastern as they take a 81-77 lead heading into the 4th and final quarter against the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia. We thought the first two quarters were pretty high scoring for Hong Kong Eastern and the BTN CLS Knights. They outdid themselves in the third period, making it rain from the outside. Both teams combining for 13 three-point conversions in the third quarter alone.
Carlo, they made 9 three-point conversions in the third quarter alone for a total of 15 outside shots for Hong Kong Eastern.
Wow.
And so far, it's been a collective effort, and that's why they have that 4-point advantage. We saw Lakey, we saw Chan Shu Wing, Marcus Elliott, and O'Darian Bassett all contributing to that three-point party.
And the best way not to miss the size of Michael Holyfield is to shoot from the outside. Change the story. That is what Hong Kong Eastern is doing right now. Meanwhile, they will be punished in the interior by Douglas Herring. As you said, 15 three-point shots for Hong Kong Eastern, 8 of 20 for BTN CLS.
And so far, the reason why they've been able to get those outside shots is because O'Darian Bassett has been relentlessly attacking the basket, leaving his teammates wide open for that extra pass.
Marcus Elliott gunning for another triple-double, 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Douglas Herring with 14 points and 10 assists for the Knights in the first 3 quarters. Herring backing down against Chan Shu Wing. Good head and shoulders fake, but he missed the banker and he commits a foul.
And that may just be a frustration foul for Douglas Herring. 16 points, 10 assists already across his name. And the great thing about this, though, for the BTN CLS Knights, Carlo, is that despite the three-point party, despite the 15 rainbow trays of Hong Kong, they're only down by 2 points.
Yep. The Knights have only been in the lead for 5 minutes in this contest. But make no mistake about it, they are still a dangerous team to contend with as they tie the count, courtesy of Brandon Jawato, 22 big points in the game.
And that credit that to the great defense, the double team of Herring and Watkins, which led to that easy fast break point.
Elliott, baseline drive. And a foul will be called. Uh-oh, this might be on Watkins. It is indeed on Darryl Watkins. That will also be his 4th personal foul.
So let's see if he will be replaced, and right away we see Wong Wei Long checking back into the ball game. So that cancels it out right now. The big men of BTN CLS Knights and Hong Kong Eastern currently on the bench.
So we should just expect even more three-point shots to be converted here in the 4th. So Darian Bassett against Maxi Esho goes to the corner. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound Esho.
But that's how deadly Bassett is. You see how Jawato actually really helped and had a strong help on that, which left that wide open corner shot, was just not able to bank it home.
Jawato misses a couple of times down low, could have given his team the lead. Bassett could not knock down the 3. Herring on the board. 8 minutes remaining. What's up for grabs for BTN CLS is a spot in the top 4. And the home court advantage to start our quarterfinals next week.
And this time you saw Herring really imposing his strength against Ricky Yang to be able to fish for that foul and make his shots from the free throw line. And hopefully will get him going. It's been a silent 17 points for him so far.
So in terms of our team standings right now and our placements, the only sure things are that Formosa is number 1, San Miguel Ala Pilipinas is number 2, and the Singapore Slingers are at number 3. Everything else still up in the air. Yep. O'Darian Bassett gets a step. The hook pass. Yang from the corner, no. Tip-in is gone. Wow, what a tip-in coming from John Chiu.
And John Shui is already the tallest guy on the floor for Hong Kong Eastern alone. No one there to box him out.
Foul there whistled against the defense of Hong Kong Eastern, sending Maxi Esho to the free throw line. The guards tried to recover defensively as Maxi Esho caught the ball inside. Marcus Elliott whistled for the foul. BTN CLS shooting a decent clip from the line. They've only missed a couple of free throws in this entire ball game.
And so far, the BTN CLS Knights doing a great job here in the second half in attacking the rim. And that's why, so far, they've gone to the line 16 times compared to the only 8 times for the Hong Kong Eastern.
14 of 16 from the stripe for the Knights as they retake a 2-point lead. Marcus Elliott attacks baseline, gives it up to Bassett. They go to the corner once again for 3. Still nothing there for Ricky Yan. Good drive.
And once
Undeniable
again,
coming from Douglas Herring.
Douglas Herring just attacking the defense of Ricky Yang. Same result 2 times in a row.
With no rim protector, it's open season for Douglas Herring as he doubles up on their advantage. It now stands at 4 points, 87-83, with 6 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the 4th and final quarter. At what point do you expect Holyfield and Watkins to check back into this contest?
Well, so far, I think both coaches, with both centers on the bench, they don't see the need yet to put him back in. Maybe when one coach gives in, then the following coach will do the same.
Of course, that's automatic. Dealing with a 4-point deficit now, Hong Kong Eastern. Lakey with a good pass to Marcus Elliott. Short jumper is money.
And a hand in his face, Marcus Elliott, that sweet stroke of his. Already 19 points across his name.
Fresh face in the ball game, Otomo for BTN CLS. Nice bounce pass. This veteran making matters work for his team with that nice find down low.
Well, so far, if they're able to maximize the mismatch of Maxi Esho, then definitely we will see the return once again of Michael Holyfield.
Marcus Elliott with a sorry miss there. He got to a spot where he could knock down a shot, did not deliver. And now both centers warming up on our scorer's table. About to check in at the next opportunity. 89-85, a 4-point lead for BTN CLS. Esho kicks it to the corner. Jawato drives, layup, no good. O'Darian Bassett wide open for 3, no! Southern Stadium, the fans were ready to explode if he converted on that triple.
And so far, Hong Kong Eastern going cold here in the 4th quarter. Only 2 points so far in the last period. And 5 minutes, almost 5 minutes have already gone by. 10-2 is the scoring here in the last and final frame.
Foul was called on O'Darian Bassett, putting two hands on Douglas Herring, who was backing down. You cannot do that. That is an automatic call. As Watkins and Holyfield are back in the ball game for the final 5 minutes and 22 seconds. You can expect them to stay in this ball game from here on out, unless, of course, they commit their 5th personal foul.
Exactly, and I think with them both on the bench, it was an advantage not for Hong Kong Eastern, but for the CLS Knights, as we saw Douglas Herring relentlessly attacking the basket. No rim protector for Hong Kong Eastern, and that's why they're up right now by 4 points.
Because the biggest difference there is when Holyfield is on their bench, Hong Kong has no legitimate big man. When Watkins is on the bench, they still have Maxi Esho. And that is the gambit that Hong Kong Eastern pulled off by replacing Samuel Digwara before heading into the playoffs. Brandon Jawato goes to the crossover. Brandon kicks it out to Maxi Esho. Extra pass. Herring for 3. No. Battle for the loose ball won by Holyfield. ODB goes up top, but not connect with Marcus Elliott. Pass was a little too high. Esho with a counter-attack. Lefty layup, no good. Tip in, no! Wasted opportunities here for both sides. Elliott sets up O'Darian Bassett, who mishandled the ball, pulls it back out to set up a play. Bassett, jumper, no good.
And both teams so far going cold on both ends of the floor. Good opportunities, good shots at the basket, just everything but the conversion.
Coach Brian Rowsom telling his boys to calm down. No need for too much speed as a foul is called down low. Herring draws it as he beat Chan Chu Wing for position.
And actually in this whole ball game, we saw Douglas Herring really trying to back down his defender in the paint. Not really going for the one-on-one from the three-point line.
Lau Chelai about to check into this contest. You can say that, well, has not seen action in this game, but this guy stays hot. He does not warm up, he stays hot. Douglas Herring with 8 seconds to work with. Herring with a pass, it was picked off. O'Darian Bassett to Lau Chelai for 3, no! No hesitation, first touch of the ball game.
And it's the first time to enter the ball game.
Oh,
but
big shot on the other side for Brandon Jawato, extending their lead to 7 points. What a performance so far for Jawato. 25 big ones, 92 for the BTN CLS Knights, 85 for Hong Kong Eastern. We have a timeout.
Shot faster. Okay, we cannot head down and keep letting them score easy shots.
Can the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia hold on for the final 3 minutes and 50 seconds of this ball game? Can they protect this 7-point lead and march on to the top 4 spot and start the quarterfinals at home? Again, they are 10-3 in their 13 home games, so they are very good at home. You would want that advantage against the number 5 team, whoever it may be.
Exactly, and so far it's been Brandon Jawato leading the way for the BTN CLS Knights. Already 25 points across his name, just so efficient from the field. And I think the turning point here was when both centers sat down on their bench with no legitimate center for Hong Kong Eastern. That was really when they made their run, and their 7-point lead is actually their biggest margin in this whole ball game.
Brandon Jawato will try again. Almost knocking that down, but it rims out. You know, when the 3-point shots are falling, you're okay if you're Hong Kong Eastern, but now they have not converted from the outside in a while now. Let's see if they can change that in this play. Marcus Elliott goes to the corner. Now Chilai for 3. Yes!
And you said it correctly, Carlo. He doesn't need to warm up. Second shot, second attempt in the corner, banks it home. A big momentum changer there for Hong Kong Eastern. Badly needed shot, the 7th point only here in the 4th quarter.
Big stop for Hong Kong Eastern as well, forcing a traveling violation against Daryl Watkins and forcing Coach Brian Rowsom to request this timeout. Their lead is down to 4, 92-88. Hong Kong Eastern has possession. When we come back.
Okay, look. Next time go here, Marcus will beat. Make sure we catch it. And then we use the beat. And Mike goes inside. But again, the most important thing will be the defense. All right?
In the first 3 quarters, Hong Kong Eastern scored 29, 22, and 30 points. Now, they only have 7 with only 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining, and that is why they find themselves down by 4 points, 92-88 against the visiting BTN CLS Knights Indonesia. But not all hope is lost for the home squad. They have possession to try and get back into this contest. With Chan Chu Wing getting the switch. They go down low to Holyfield. Mishandled the pass. Scramble for the loose ball. Won by Marcus Elliott. Marcus to Lau Chilai for another 3. No! Could have been big coming from Lau Chilai, but he could not knock down the 3-point shot from the corner.
And then the key missed opportunities there for Hong Kong Eastern, but a stop is needed here in the defensive end.
Douglas Herring, calm, cool, collected, missing on the jumper. Holyfield with a rebound. O'Darian Bassett sees no advantage in attacking. Uses a screen from Holyfield. Pull-up jumper, got for 2.
And O'Darian Bassett coming up big when they need him the most. He's been quiet here in the 4th quarter. First 2 points for him. It's now down to a 2-point ball game.
Hong Kong fans pleading for a stop. CLS looking for a big basket. Douglas Herring backing down. Goes to Watkins. He attacks. Wild shot, no good. Jawato with 2 seconds remaining. Could not be the buzzer. Jawato gets another offensive rebound. Good pass down low. Big block for Holyfield. ODB for the lead. Goal!
And just a crazy turn of events, Carlo. The CLS Knights had 3 opportunities, and then the big block there by Michael Holyfield, and then the 3-point conversion to give them the lead. The fans are loving it here at Hong Kong.
First, Rowsom heating up at the right moment, getting the chance finally here in the fourth quarter. And then O'Darian Bassett with his pull-up jumper to inch his team down by just 2 points. Then Bassett getting some help defensively. Holyfield with a block. ODB for 3 for the lead. He says, I'm back and I'm ready to take this team all the way to the top. Big points for O'Darian Bassett. None bigger than the last 3 he scored to give Hong Kong Eastern a 93-92 lead. 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Very important to note, Hong Kong Eastern is in the penalty situation. So expect the Knights to be very aggressive in trying to attack the basket in this next play. Here we go, Wong Wei Long has the ball. Gives it up to Maxi Esho. Shot clock is only at 5. Esho loses the ball, but
And
there is the kick.
ball.
Yep, a reset to 14. Lucky break for BTN CLS.
They were down to already 3 seconds remaining in their shot clock. Lucky break there for Maxi Esho and the rest of the DTN CLS Knights.
Great hands coming from Marcus Elliott, unfortunately for him. He committed the kickball violation. Douglas Herring attacks inside the left. It's gone! Over the defense of Mike Holyfield.
And with the switch, with the outstretched arms of Michael Holyfield, was still able to get that one in.
Again, delivering in the clutch. Michael Holyfield down low, scores with a lip. Lead is back to Hong Kong Eastern, 95-94, 34 seconds remaining in this game. Douglas Herring attacks, great defense, but a foul was called at the last moment. Holyfield whistled for his last one.
And that's it there for Michael Holyfield.
Douglas Herring waiting to take 2 free throws as Holyfield receives a warm ovation from the fans. Outstanding effort coming from this big man. 12 points, 20 rebounds, 5 blocks in the game.
And a monster game for him, trying to stand still in the defensive paint for the Hong Kong Eastern. But for the last 27 seconds, they'll have to make do without him.
Like what he did, though, against the Saigon Heat. Herring providing the much-needed points for BTN CLS Knights. 95-95, not anymore. 1-point lead for the Knights, courtesy of Herring. Now a timeout requested by Hong Kong Eastern. No Holyfield on the floor. They will have to rely on their talented guards, O'Darian Bassett and Marcus Elliott, to get the lead back in the next possession. The number 4 spot is up for grabs for the BTN CLS Knights Indonesia. All they need at this stage one last stop.
And earlier, they were really going to that two-man ball game, which worked wonders for them in the last few possessions. But now, with Michael Holyfield on the bench, let's see what O'Darian Bassett will do with their small ball lineup on the floor. Everyone can shoot from the outside.
5 guards on the floor for Hong Kong Eastern. Lei Key, Lau Chulai, Chan Chu Wing, O'Darian Bassett, and Marcus Elliott. Here we go. ODB shot clock at 6. ODB makes his move. Layup is good!
And up against 3 players defending him, still manages to get that through. O'Darian Bassett has been a monster in this ball game. What a comeback game for him.
32 big points for O'Darian Bassett, taking the lead back for Hong Kong Eastern, 97 to 96. And now BTN CLS requesting a timeout to map out their final attack. The initial attack coming from the Knights, at least as drawn up by Coach Rowsom, will be heading straight into the gut of the defense. Hong Kong Eastern is in penalty, trying to take full advantage of it.
Well, that's the best way to attack so far. This 1-point deficit for the BTN CLS Knights. Take it strong to the basket. In case they miss, hopefully fish for that foul to get on the line. They don't need to milk the shot clock.
Jawato, the inbounder for the Knights. He goes to Maxi Esho. They fake the handoff. Esho attacks inside and scores off the glass. Just like how Coach Brian Rowsom threw up the play.
And just a perfectly executed play there by Maxi Esho. He saw the size advantage and no timeouts.
1-point lead for the BTN CLS Knights. 12.6 seconds remaining. No more timeouts on the floor. O'Darian Bassett against Douglas Herring. ODB attacks, kicks it out. Chan Chu Wing for the win. No! He was right there. Chan Chu Wing missed on a shot that he usually makes. And that is the end of the ball game. A painful 1-point loss for Hong Kong Eastern. BTN CLS will claim the number 4 spot in our team standings.
And what a way to end that ball game. We almost saw an unstoppable performance there by O'Darian Bassett, but we have to credit the composure of this BTN CLS Knights. Hong Kong Eastern threw a 3-point party. However, they were able to stay patient, stay focused. When the size advantage and the mismatch came up, especially when Michael Holyfield sat on the bench, they were able to capitalize it, just like what their coach said.
One of the best games we've seen all season long. Your final score, 98 for the BTN CLS Knights, 97 for Hong Kong Eastern basketball team. They will wrap up their schedule on Sunday with another game against the Wolf Warriors before finding out who they'll be matched up against at the start of our quarterfinals. What an outstanding contest here inside the Southern Stadium. Even if the Hong Kong fans aren't happy with the result, they were treated to an outstanding ball game.
Oh, definitely. As you see here, player of the game still, 32 points for O'Darian Bassett. But I can't forget that last play by Mike Esho. He really executed perfectly what Coach Brian Rowsom put on the board, as you mentioned, Carlo. Just a great bounce-back game here for the CLS Knights.
And that will be it for your lone Friday night ABL game. Coming to you from the Southern Stadium in Wan Chai, Hong Kong. BTN CLS Knights emerging victorious and claiming the number 4 spot for Beadaya San Carlo Pomituan. To you for more of the Asian Basketball League.
It feels great. I'm glad to be 100%. Just to try to help my team get these wins, so I'm feeling good. Everything is great.
In what way the team can do better for today's game?
Just tough luck. You know, last seconds of the game, we could have had. We can always do something better when you lose the game. Just play a little more defense, but tough luck. They made a hard shot, and just got to stick with it.
Is it difficult to play under pressure?
Not at all. Not at all. I thrive under pressure, so it's a good situation for me. I feel good under pressure.
How to stay focused when everybody is so emotional, like the audience, the coach, and then the teammates?
Playing at home helps. You know, the crowd give us energy, and they give us a good vibe. So it's just staying focused. It's all in the game. You know, you just have to remember what you're doing as a coaching strategy, as a team, and just stay together.
Okay, thank you so much. Take good rest, and then bring the win back next game.
Thank you.
Thank you.